Yeah, preseason's gone really well, all things considered. We're into our 18th week now, and obviously had to manage having a number of players out of the environment for an extended period of time. But it's enabled us to put some great work into the players that were here based in Perth, and I think we've made some great progress for a number of athletes, which has been fantastic. And obviously, only having one or two training sessions with the entire group before Team Girls Cup was a bit of a challenge for us, but I think the way we handled the opportunity at Team Girls Cup and the way we performed and what we learnt about where we're at, I think was really beneficial. And certainly coming back to Perth now with the full team on the court, have really been able to shift a gear and refine, I guess, parts of our game that we needed to in preparation for round one. So all in all, it's gone as well as can be expected in some pretty challenging times.
Awesome. And obviously you guys have named your leadership group today. What sort of stood out to you, Courtney and Jess, to lead the club this season?
Yeah, well, the two girls were obviously really well represented in the nominations and recommendation process from all of the playing group, including our training partners and our full-time staff. And those two were probably the standouts in what the group was looking for in their leaders for this year. And I think the two of them individually, both very different, but collectively really balance each other quite nicely for what we're looking for. So I think they're going to complement each other really nicely. They've both got their own individual strengths and key areas of growth too. But as a duo and a partnership, I think we have what we need to really develop a really strong connection here in our leadership space. And I'm looking forward to watching them both grow and supporting them on that journey.
Awesome. Thank you.
Cheers.
Dan, was there ever any consideration just in terms of having more than two in your leadership group, or captain, vice captain?
Yeah, the process, to be honest, was really quite open, and all the athletes and staff were invited to present their own structure and their own athletes that suited that structure with no rigid way of doing it. And really it was a matter of gathering as much information as possible around where the group felt leadership sat at this present time. And these two girls were the standout. There's obviously a number of other athletes that were identified by their peers and support staff as well. But the opportunity, I think, to really put some great development into both Jess and Courtney is really critical, and understanding that the girls that sit underneath these two have so many different attributes to bring to the space too. And one thing that we've been really trying to instill, particularly over these past 18 weeks at West Coast Fever, is the contribution that every single person has to make to our team culture, our team environment, and our on-court performances. So while these two get the privilege of being named captain and vice captain, every single player is equally as important as the next in what they bring to the space. So it's a pretty leaderful team in collective strengths, but these two sitting, I guess, as our two designated leaders will lead us well by complementing each other nicely.
Have you had a discussion with Jess? I mean, obviously she's been in the leadership group beforehand, but this is the first time as vice captain. We know what Courtney's like probably as a captain. She's been there for a little while now. But what's that conversation with Jess to make sure that, you know, she plays her role first within the team before sort of taking too much ownership with the leadership?
Yeah, we had some really clear criteria about what we were looking for in our leaders, and one of them being in control of your own performance. And I think we know that Jess is one of the most consistent and reliable players, and great trust that she can get out there and contribute to the team's performance every single week. And I think the benefit of Jess where she is right now is she's had a taste of leadership in the past, and she's learnt an enormous amount over that period of time. And it's been an area that she's been really passionate about over the past couple of years. And I think the most important thing with leadership is being placed into those roles when you're ready. And I feel like the time is now for her, and the amount of support and backing that she had from the entire playing group and also the staff to take that next step in her leadership journey was overwhelming, to be honest. And she now believes that she's in a great place to contribute to that space. I think she'll support Courtney really well, but also enhance Courtney in other areas too. And I think she'll complement that group really nicely. But she's certainly ready for the next step, and I don't expect too much changing in Jess in how she performs. She needs to be authentic to the way she does things, and she's excited, and she's heart and soul West Coast Fever, so she's a great fit in this space for us.
Just last one from me. How are you feeling as well? I mean, obviously we're still sort of searching for that maiden championship, but the Fever, that we have been quite successful over the last couple of years, despite not coming away sort of with the silverware. Is this a bit of a nerve-wracking time for you going, are we actually ready?
Oh, it's incredibly exciting, to be honest. I think that there's nerves associated to everything you do in high performance sport, but I really believe in this group, and I believe in the shifts we've made and the direction we're going. And I think the players and all the staff in our environment really feel that too. So there's nothing to be nervous about. It's really about being excited by the opportunity ahead of us. And, we've identified pretty clearly where the shifts need to be made and what we need to add into our game and what we need to change and what we need to consolidate. And they're only subtle changes, but I think sometimes that's all it takes. So I'm more excited than anything else. I can't wait to get onto the court at RAC Arena and play in front of the home fans and, really start transferring what we're doing in the training environment into competition mode. So plenty to be excited about, and I can't wait.
Thanks.
I was just wondering,
Go ahead.
sorry, I was just wondering how you felt you guys went in the Team Girls Cup. Went pretty well for you guys, but how did things go for you? How did you feel?
Yeah, well, to come away with 3 wins out of 4 matches, I think is a pretty respectable result, all things considered. And again, off the handful of training sessions together, it was clear that we hadn't spent a lot of time together. But I think the biggest thing of that weekend was gathering as much information about ourselves and each other and having some lived experiences together. It was the first time I got to see the team in competition mode and them see me in game day coaching mode too. So that was critically valuable for us. We won 3 matches playing some good netball in parts and playing nowhere near our potential or capabilities in other parts. So I think our ability to still win matches, even though we're nowhere near what we know we're capable of, was exciting. And then to experience the final with a very different feel and a very different level of pressure against the Vixens was incredibly valuable too, because that's really seen a great shift in our training environment since coming back from that experience. So it was great overall in gathering information. That was the purpose of going. And I think it served its purpose really well in terms of how we've responded since then.
Hi, Dan. Dan, great hit out against the Vic men's team last weekend. Just wondering what progress that you saw from the Team Girls Cup to that match or those matches.
Yeah, great progress, more importantly, from the training week post Team Girls Cup to make some shifts in our game, and then to actually see the transfer in the 2 matches against the men was fantastic. And I guess my philosophy around head coaching sits around gradual progression all the time. And I think the players' ability to implement and progress from game to game has been really pleasing so far. And I think their ability to work through the challenges that the Vic men pose, which are very different to the Western Australian men, which are very different to other Suncorp teams. So it was a great challenge in a different way. And our ability to learn quarter to quarter and game to game was really pleasing to see. And just unearth some more areas of our game that we've really locked in on, and also some other areas where we need to keep refining and keep working hard. So overall, great progress and in a good position heading into round 1.
And I was particularly interested to see the growth in Emma Kosh. She had the game that I saw anyway. She was very strong in that wing attack position. Yeah,
she's been training really hard, Koshy, and she's very much a confidence player, and she's got some brilliant strengths and weapons that we're really trying to enhance. And she's backing herself, the players around her are backing her, and she's doing a great job. And I guess she's doing as well as the others around her as well. It's some of them are really progressing and developing quite nicely, but it's pleasing to see Koshy really shine out there and keep progressing her game in a number of different ways.
Great. And sorry to take your time up. Last one, Dan. As a specialist attacking coach, how have you been able to sort of place your mark on those, key attacking players in the circle?
Yeah, we've been able to spend quite a bit of time focusing on some of those areas. And I think we're just looking to be a little bit more structured, organised, and a little bit more smart in how we play attack and utilising the skill set of far more players than what we perhaps have previously. So it's really trying to become a very team-orientated playing style where all of us can step up and do a role at different times, and whether that's through some strategies or structures or different themes that we're looking to implement. But the players have been really open and receptive to it, and they're also eager to learn, incredibly coachable. And those shift and changes will take a bit of time to implement under pressure, but seeing some great progress and excited as to where we can take it.
Terrific. Thank you, Dan.
Cheers.
Hey, Courtney, how does it feel for you to be named West Coast Fever captain once again?
Yeah, it's super special and always a huge honour.
As everyone's aware, I've played for Fever now for so long in my 11th season, and I just absolutely love this club. So the opportunity to lead such an amazing bunch of girls and have Jess by my side is, something that's always an honour for me.
Awesome. And you guys obviously had Team Girls Cup a few weeks ago and then the hit out against the Victorian men. How did you see that play out?
Yeah, I think Dan definitely touched on it. Just a lot of growth from us. We hadn't had many court work sessions leading into Team Girls Cup, and I think at times we surprised ourselves with how well we actually did go. And then to come home and have a really good training week, and then hit the men and take some huge learnings away from that. I think the group's in a really good spot heading into round 1.
Awesome, thank you.
Court, well done. Anything different this year that you would like to work on as far as your leadership is concerned, or is it sort of nice to sort of settle into a routine once again?
Yeah, it's definitely nice to be recognised from the girls and have that backing in there. I think just to keep working on my growth areas, and I think Dan touched on it, but Jess and I complement each other really well there. I can help Jess out and Jess can help myself out. I think we're always growing and we're always looking to learn, and I definitely know I'm only on a part of a journey of my leadership. So still lots to work on, but just excited to have the opportunity again.
Is there anyone that you sort of look to in the national team or have been coached by or had as a captain that you sort of like to take bits and pieces from as far as your leadership is concerned?
I think I've been super lucky. I've had lots of really good leaders around me, whether that's been from, Nat and Seabass when they were here at Fever, or in the Diamonds environment with the guys, Sienna Shani and Lizzie at the moment. So I feel like there's lots of people that I can draw inspiration from. But I think my biggest strength as a leader is being authentic to myself. So making sure I just stay true to myself and pick up those little pieces that I can along the journey.
And for you this year, is this the year the Fever goes all the way? How's it compared feeling going into this season compared to other seasons?
Yeah, definitely wanted it to be the year that we go all the way. We've been so close so many times. I think the difference this year for me is just the confidence amongst the girls. We've got 10 girls that are absolutely smashing it at the moment and putting it out on the training track. So I think the confidence is really high and people are starting to really believe in themselves and back their performance in.
Awesome, thank you. Good luck.
Thanks.
Jess, congratulations. Was it a bit of a surprise, perhaps, being told that you were vice captain? How did that get announced?
Thank you. Yeah, it was a bit of a surprise, to be honest. It's been a bit of a process the last couple of weeks. We had to nominate whether we were interested in being a leader, and so I put through that to Dan, and then we've been working through the last couple of weeks and had the nominations from players, and I was fortunate enough to be nominated in, and I'm very excited to be in as vice captain alongside Courtney, and can't wait to get started.
Where do you see you contributing as far as the leader goes? I mean, it sounds like it was quite the process having to nominate yourself, but what makes you a good leader in your eyes?
I like to think I show some natural abilities to lead on the court, and my ability to just create the relationships with the girls off the court, and then being able to build that team cohesion. So those little things, and then just being that consistent performer on the court and that positive influence for people to look up to.
I mean, amazing to be vice captain. That's sort of a feather in your cap, so to speak. What else sort of are you hoping for this year? I mean, you look at West Coast Fever, hopefully potential to get that championship, but also, Com Games, and that's coming up as well. Where are your goals at this year?
Yeah, I guess firstly my goals are with West Coast Fever and winning that premiership, and I think we're in a great position this year. We've been, like Courtney said, we've been so close for the last couple of years, and I think with a refreshing start and having Dan join us, we've just taken that next step again. And then, I guess individually, the ultimate goal is to make that Diamond squad and go to the Com Games. But yeah, like I said, first and foremost, the goal is to win the premiership with Fever.
What's it like working with Courtney? Are you guys similar with your leadership styles, or how do you sort of bounce off each other? Is it good cop, bad cop?
I think Courtney and I complement each other very well in terms of Courtney's more the talker out on court. I don't talk too much, so that's something that I'm obviously going to learn from her and grow. And then I'm more of the building relationships and bringing the team together and that team connection. So I think, like we've touched on before, we complement each other very well, and we've been playing together now for the last 5 years, so we have that relationship to work together and bring the team along with us.
And I was talking to Dan the other day, and he said that he thinks the Vixens are the ones to sort of watch out for, and they'll be quick improvers. What was your take from Girls Cup and, you know, maybe even last year, who was showing form?
Yeah, I'd have to agree with Dan there. I guess the Team Girls Cup showed how formidable they're going to be, and they were still missing a couple of their key players. So I think they're going to be the benchmark for this year, which is great that we've had a little touch of playing against them in a final scenario. So yeah, I'm hoping that we'll be coming up against them in the grand final.
Awesome, thank you.
Well, thanks, guys. Are there any further questions for Jess? Otherwise, happy to open it back up to all three if there are any other questions that anyone wanted to ask before we finish up.
I'm all good on my end, thanks, Steve.
Everyone all okay? Well, guys, thanks very much for joining us all today. Thanks to Dan, Courtney and Jess as well. Look forward to working with you all throughout the season and seeing the reports come out over the coming days. Thanks very much, everyone.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Guys,
thanks,
cheers.
Thank you.
Dan.